Ranking the best theme teams in Madden 24. We are here with our first theme team tier list of Madden 24. Now today I'm going to go one by one, do an overview of each theme team, and then I'm going to rank them in this tier list. And we are going to get it started right here with the 49ers. The main things I'm looking for theme teams, to me, quarterback isn't the most important thing. It's obviously nice to have one, but for the most part, I think 99% of y'all that run theme teams will just run a whole spot at QB anyway. So to me, I'm really looking at like the elite level talent that each theme team boost. In the 49ers, you have someone like CMC, you have Jerry Rice, you have George Kittle, you have a pretty solid offensive line, and the elite level talent that you boost, Primetime and Sherman, really nice. Now, I think the 49ers are a team for me that are on the way up, right? They are slowly but surely getting like the legends they usually do. For me right now, they are in C. Like they're a pretty okay theme team right now, but like I said, they're pointing up. And in our next update, I predict this is going to be one of the biggest risers. After that, we get the Chicago Bears. So it'd be really nice if like everyone could have got this 83 Justin Fields. He actually would have been one of the best quarterbacks in the game they won, but you had to like do some pre-order stuff. He doesn't really count for me in my opinion. Really the elite level talent that this team has is ISM and Devin Hester. So besides that, right, what does this theme team really offer you? And to me, it's nothing, man. I think they always start off kind of slow as a theme team. For me, this is going to be an F tier theme team. After that, we get the Bengals. I would start Joe Burrow over Will Grier. You get some good players like Chad Johnson. Jamar Chase boosted is usable. Same thing with Marvin Jones is kind of iffy. Irv Smith, who I don't mind on the theme team. Obviously, no route running and not really great offensive line. Not really great pieces in the secondary either. For me, the Bengals are like one step above the Bears. They're going to be in D tier. Now, right after that, we get the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, good throw power. Not really too high on him right now in the game. Naheem Hines is fine. Receivers, you get some solid options, but nothing like elite. Tight end is a little bit lacking. Not a great offensive line. I think you do get some elite talent like Gilly Locke getting boosted on this team is nice. This is another team, kind of like what I was saying about the 49ers. They really don't have a lot of great pieces right now, but when the cards that they do have get upgrades, they will be a lot better. For me, they're going to go D tier right now. After that, we get the Broncos right here that have Javonte Williams. He's okay on the team. Not really great pieces at receiver. Shannon Sharp and Albert O. These are two really nice pieces. Sucks that like both of them are tight ends. Now, offensive line isn't like the best in the world. You get some decent options. I like their CB room though. So like Asang Basie, Patrick Surtain, I think that's a pretty solid CB room. They also get DeMarcus Ware as an upgrade. I think they are slightly better than the Bills and the Bengals. This is one that I could see like right here, and I wouldn't say it wrong, but I think they're just slightly better. I think they just had overall like more pieces on like offensive line, defensive line, secondaries. After that, we get the Browns. Good quarterback in RG3. Dearness Johnson I like. The wide receiver room, while they aren't the highest overall, Cedric Tillman on the theme team gets pretty good, and so does OBJ. If you have a Twitch Prime account, getting this David Njoku is a really nice boost. And you have a full offensive line, which is really nice and kind of rare. You have pieces in the secondary as well, like Ronnie Hickman. You get John Johnson. Like, I think this is actually a pretty solid theme team. Not saying it's the best in the world. To me, it's another like C tier theme team. I like them. After that, we get the Bucks. Love Jameis Winston, but besides that, okay, running back not really offering you anything. Receivers aren't really there either. OJ Howard's good on the team speed wise, but the route running isn't there. Offensive line, I guess, gives you some pieces. Like I like Logan Menkins, but other than that, like really like this entire team just really isn't good, minus like Richard Sherman, right? Richard Sherman, Warren Sapp, and Jameis are like the only three really good usable players on this team. For me, this is another F tier theme team. Right after that, we get the Cardinals. Would probably use a whole spot on a QB. You don't really get a great running back, but receiver's pretty decent. I don't mind the receiver room. D-Hop, Christian Kirk, Marquise Brown. I like this trio of wide receivers right here. And from a tight end, don't really love any of these people either. This is an interesting team because their like top end talent is really elite. Like again, I like the receivers. Also, you can boost Antonio Cromartie, Patrick Peterson. Eventually, we'll get a good card. You know what I'm saying? Tyrann Mathieu, Buda Baker, Isaiah Simmons, all cards that right now are just kind of like more okay on a team. Hassan Reddick as well. I think they have some really nice pieces. Just need like a couple more upgrades to really push them over the top. For me, they're another C tier theme team. After that, we get the Chargers. You could rock out with Herbert at QB. Not mad if you do that. Potentially Austin Eckler at running back. I don't really like their offense at all besides like Hunter Henry. And I mean, you do have some pieces on the offensive line like Rashawn Slater. Defensive side of the ball though is why they rank pretty high for me. Antonio Cromartie, Basie, JC Jackson, and Hall right here, 4 pieces in the secondary, really, really nice. And you could potentially get Derwin James as well. I like their defense a lot. Their offense has major holes. That's why for me, they're like a C tier theme team. Their defense is damn near S, but their offense is like damn near F. So to me, they're just middle of the pack because of that. And right after that, we get the Chiefs. Warren Moon at QB. Love that. Running back, I guess, is slightly weak, but receivers, ISM, Juju, Rashee Rice. Love this trio right here. You could even run Tyreek Hill if you wanted to, but I actually prefer these 3 guys over Tyreek Hill. Call me crazy. You get Kelsey at tight end. Not terrible, and you get a full offensive line, so you can make the argument that you really don't need any filler players for this offense. So it does suck they don't get a fullback. That is annoying, but also on the defense side of the ball, you get someone like Chris Jones, who's amazing, and from the CBs, you get Mike Hughes, usable on theme team, Jalen Watson. Pre-order Revis isn't terrible on the theme team. I like this team because they have elite level talent on offense, and they have like decent players on defense. This is going to be our first A tier theme team. After that, we get the Colts. I like Hines. I like Jonathan Taylor, but besides that, really don't like anything. I guess Big Q and Ryan Kelly too. Only pieces I really like on offense and their offensive linemen. Defensive side of the ball, Gilly Locke and Antonio Cromartie are 2 really great pieces, right? Love that you can boost them on the same team, and even Julius Prince too. I like these 3 corners, but literally everything else is pretty bad. For me, it's really like 2 players that get boosted on this team. For me, they're going to be F. Right after that, we get the Commanders. RG3 at QB. Running back's lacking. Receiver is very lacking. Tight end isn't great. You get a pretty full offensive line, elites everywhere. And in the secondary has some pieces that I do like Cam Curl. You get Sean T. Prime time as well. You have some decent players on the defensive side of the ball, but as a whole, don't really love this team. For me, they're in D tier. This is a team that should, again, be on the rise when we get more legends in the game as well. Right after that, we get the Cowboys theme team. I really wouldn't use Will Greer. I really wouldn't. Tony Pollard on the theme team, not really too great. You do get Brandon Cooks, like him on theme team. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, like borderline usable, I guess. Luke Shoemaker isn't terrible. Offensive line really isn't that great. You have some pieces. I like Israel as a user on a theme team, but I really like their secondary of Gilly Locke, Primetime, Trevon Diggs. I like that secondary, and you also get MCS Micah Parsons as well. I think they are a team with a lot of decent pieces. For me, I'm willing to put them B. I think they're a little bit above the teams we covered in C already. After that, we get the Dolphins, a chain on the theme team running back spot. Don't hate it. You get Tyreek Hill and Waddle, both of them pretty good on a theme team. Gesicki on a theme team's great. You get pieces on the offensive line. You could potentially have an all-elite offensive line, which is a bonus. I like Minka, Deshaun Elliott. Jalen Ramsey turns into a god on a theme team. You also get Cam Smith too, who is pretty decent again on the theme team. I promise this isn't Dolphins bias. I am a Dolphins fan, but I do think they are a B tier caliber theme team. They're like lower end B as well because they're also on the way down. I would say that. While you have some theme teams like 49ers, Chargers, Cardinals trending on the way up, I think Dolphins kind of trending down. Now we got another theme team right here that is trending up. So Eagles got Michael Vick at quarterback and Brian Finneran at receiver. So that's Brian Finneran, Slim Reaper, and potentially a third like whole spot at receiver, but that is beastly. You get Alberto at tight end. You get a full offensive line, and then on defense you get players like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Reed Blankenship, Darius Slay. I don't hate. For me, the reason they aren't S tier is because their CBs are a little bit lacking, but for me, they are another A tier caliber theme team, and again, they are trending up. Right after the Eagles, we got the Falcons that again got Mike Vick and also got Brian Finneran. Brian Finneran with Devin Hester and Drake London, kind of crazy. Potentially Bijan at running back, I don't mind that. Kyle Pitts at receiving tight end too. Whew. That is a very loaded offense. Now, the defense side of the ball, you get Primetime, you get AJ Terrell, you get Mike Hughes. I don't love their safeties. For me, like, they are a little, Falcons are a tough one for me. They are like in a B plus tier for me. I could maybe see them A. If you want to make the argument they're A, I'll let it slide. But I'm going to go ahead and lean like B plus. And right after that, we got the Giants. I like Saquon on the theme team. You get Jalen Hyatt, elite talent. Wandale Robinson, OBJ, and Kadarius Toney, like their like group of receivers. You get Darren Waller as well, again, elite talent boosted. You get some pieces on the offensive line, LT, Adoree Jackson, who by the way is an elite talent in this game, one of the better man corners in the game if you do your strat cards correctly. Amani Uwariye as well. I think this team has some really nice pieces, and for me, the reason why they're ranking high is, again, I think they boost some elite talent. They are like in a B minus type of range for me. Like, I think the Falcons are better than the Giants. After that, we get the Jags, Fred Taylor getting boosted, Christian Kirk. You get get some other pieces on offense. Jalen Ramsey at CB. To me, it doesn't offer you a lot, but you do get some elite talent boosted. And for that reason, they're not going to be F tier for me. They're going to be D. Now the Jets right here, again, they get Mike Vick at QB. Love Lazard, love Garrett Wilson on theme team, kind of missing that third option. And you don't really get anything great at tight end as well. Offensive line is pretty decent. You get Ed Reed with Antonio Cromartie. And if you got the pre-order sauce, that is a huge bonus. Again, I like some of their pieces on defense. For me, this is another team that's trending up. And also they're kind of like right by the Falcons for me in a B+ type of range. Now we got the Lions right here. Love Jahmyr Gibbs on a theme team. Josh Reynolds on a theme team I like. You get Hawkinson as well. And you almost get an entire full offensive line. Deshaun Elliott, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You get other pieces at CB as well. I don't think there's elite level talent boosted on this team. And for that reason, for me, they're just like kind of like okay, going in the C tier for me. After that, we get the Packers. No pun intended, but love Jordan Love. I think he actually is still usable. Emmanuel Wilson, great running back in the game. You get Allen Lazard, Christian Watson, Devontae Adams. Think that's a good trio. Luke Musgrave as well. And you get pieces on the offensive line. On the defensive side of the ball, kind of where they lose me a little bit. Not really great corners or safeties right now. They just really are a little bit lacking with that. So for that reason, just their defense is so lacking. It's pretty much kind of like the opposite of the Chargers in my opinion. So they're going right by the Chargers. After that, we get the Panthers, Bryce Young at QB. You get CMC, you get ISM, Jonathan Mingo, Laviska Shenault. Think that's a usable trio. Not really great tight end, not really great offensive line, but you get Stephon Gilmore, you get JC Horn. You boost some elite level talent on this team, right? So for that reason, for me, I once again gonna have them like more bottom in the C. After that, we get the Patriots. Now the Patriots don't have a good quarterback. They have Fred Taylor though. They have Juju, Chad Johnson, Brandon Cooks, even Tyquan Thornton. They get Mike Gesicki at tight end. They have a full basically offensive line minus right tackle. On defense, you get pieces of Kyle Duggar. You get Gilly Locke. You get JC Jackson, Christian Gonzalez, Darrell Revis. This is the best theme team I think we covered so far. This is gonna be our first S tier theme team. There are just so many pieces to the Patriots team. I think they're deserving of S. Right after that, we get the Raiders. Raiders have some really high highs and low lows. You get Bo Jackson right here up to 90 speed. Jerry Rice, Devontae Adams like that. Amari Cooper, Zay Jones, a little bit iffy. This is another team trending up. You get Darren Waller. You get a pretty good offensive line. It's just like from a safety and like DB perspective, you don't really get anything. But this is another team to really watch out for. For me, they are like in a bottom in the B type of range for me, but this is another one that eventually is probably going to be up here. Right after that, we get the Rams, Baker, Jerome Bettis, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Josh Reynolds. Think again, you can make that trio wide receiver work. Not really a great tight end. You get Jalen Ramsey, who is elite, Kobe Durant. And yeah, I don't think this team is like otherworldly, but for me, they're going like right along the C tier. Right after that, we get the Ravens, RG3 at QB. You get Keaton Mitchell right here, who I know he's a 79, but he could be up to 87 speed. Don't hate it. Devin Hester, OBJ, Zay Flowers. You get elite level talent in Devin Hester, elite level talent in Shannon Sharp and Darren Waller and Isaiah Likely. This is like the most insane group of tight ends you'll see. They have a full offensive line as well. And DB wise, Deshaun Elliott, Kyle Hamilton, Ed Reed, Marlon Humphrey, Primetime. I just think there are so many pieces on this team. For me, I'm going to go ahead and put the Ravens also S tier. For me, I could see them A. I could, but I do think they are on the level of the Patriots. Right after that, we get the Saints. Love famous Jameis at QB. And other than that, you get Brandon Cooks. But for the most part, a lot of these like base elites, they kind of did the Saints cards a little bit dirty on stats, in my opinion. For me, I think the Saints theme team is again along this D tier. After that, we get everyone's favorite theme team, the Seattle Seahawks. Warren Moon, K9. You get Franco Harris. You get Devin Hester, Jerry Rice, DK. Tight end really doesn't offer you much, but you get a pretty decent offensive line as well. Cam Chancellor on defense, Joey Blunt, Tariq Woolen, Richard Sherman. There's just so many pieces to this team. There's a reason why a lot of people are running it. To me, gonna be S tier. Steelers, they did get Mike Vick. They also have the bust. They have Franco Harris, Pickens, Juju, kind of missing that third wide receiver, but Pickens and Juju, whew, that is a dangerous combo. Darnell Washington at tight end, I don't hate. Not really a great offensive line, but defense also has some bright spots. JPJ, you get Minka. And yeah, like I was saying, I think there's some bright spots of this team, but I also think there's some glaring weaknesses. To me, they're going to be another B tier caliber team. After that, we get the Texans. CJ Stroud. I love me some CJ Stroud. Anyway, D-Hop, Cooks, Woods, Mechie. Don't mind the receivers at all. Tight end, OJ Howard. For me, it's just their DBs are awful. They have some bright spots, like I said. said, but for the most part, again, I think they're more D. They're probably the worst in D, but I think they're a little bit better than the teams in F. Titans next up right here. Warren Moon again. We get Derrick Henry, D-Hop, Robert Woods, Josh Reynolds, Chigakonkwo. For me, where the theme team loses me though, after Adoree Jackson, you really don't have a lot of great pieces in the secondary. So for me, I think again, kind of like they're all offense, no defense, so I'm putting them C. And the Vikings right after that, we get Warren Moon. Not really great running backs, but ISM, Jay Jettas, Diggs, don't mind that receiving trio. You get TJ Hawk at tight end. Not a bad offensive line either. You get pieces in the secondary. I like this theme team. Again, think they are pretty solid. Gonna put them in the B tier. And for the final theme team right here, we got the Campus Hero theme team. The Campus Hero theme team, let me know if you agree or disagree where I have them. RG3 at QB, don't mind that at all. You get Bo Jackson. You get Hyatt, Christian Kirk, Tyquan Thornton, who are all like 88 plus speed. Michael Mayer at tight end. You get offensive line. I would say like the right side is, I don't love the offensive line. I don't love this La'el Collins card. And defense side of the ball, Deshaun Elliott, Sean T, Lewis Seen, JPJ, Adoree Jackson. I think there are some really great cards in this. I think this is the best theme team to like combo with another one. For me, I'm willing to put them like A tier though, and maybe they are top in the B, but I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the A tier. And yeah, y'all, this has been my thoughts on theme teams and Madden 24 Ultimate Team. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? What theme team are you rocking? Are you rocking a theme team? Let me know down below. Now, if you did enjoy this video, you enjoy content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Stay up to date with the best cards in Madden 24. Now, if you guys want to see me use some of these theme teams live, check the links in the description. Hit that Twitch with a follow. We've been grinding streams over there, so I greatly appreciate that. Now, if you don't feel like heading over to Twitch and you want another video to watch, check this one out right here. I rank the best quarterbacks by price in Madden 24.